All right. So today we have Carol. I think I'm going to butcher your name. Mind, right?
Meant.
Mint from St. Paul College, and she will be presenting on like differences between community college and universities, so that you would better understand what that means and uh, possibilities of maybe transferring and things like that. But I will let Carol talk about that. Thank you so much again for doing this.
Yes, thank you so much, Mirella. I'm so happy to be here with the Education USA and with International Education Week for the year 2021. My name is Carol Meant, and I am the International Student Advisor from St. Paul College. And St. Paul College is a public 2-year community college located in St. Paul, Minnesota. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. And if you can just give me like a thumbs up or yes, I can see the title slide of the screen, that would be great.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, great. So today we're going to be talking about the 2+2 model and how attending a community college can save you money. So the U.S. higher education system is set up a little differently than many other countries. So at the bottom of the triangle, you see that we have the high school diploma or secondary school diploma, usually with 13 years. So 1 year of kindergarten plus 12 years of schooling. And then I work at a community college. So that's the next level up. So community colleges in the United States does mean that we offer usually the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree program, or just 2 years of an associate's degree, and a student can graduate and then look for work after just the associate's degree. But another option for students is going up the triangle. So you go to a university or a college and earn your bachelor's degree. So that would be 4 years in total. So 2 years at the community college, 2 years at the university. And then up the up the triangle even more, you have master's degrees and then doctoral degrees at the very top. So that is the very broad outline of the US higher education system. So specifically with community colleges in the United States, there are just under 80,000 international students or F1 students enrolled in community colleges throughout the United States and in every state. This represents 8.3% of the total international student enrollment. And it is, 7.3% of total students enrolled are in community colleges, yes. But it is fairly significant. So there are many international students who do choose to go to a community college first. So some of the leading countries of origin for students who are attending community colleges in the United States are China, Vietnam, Japan, South Korea, Brazil, and India. And you can see some of the other countries listed there. But in terms of the percentage of international students who do attend community colleges from specific countries, these are the top countries. So Vietnam sends a lot of the total amount of their international students specifically to community colleges. So does Japan, Brazil, Myanmar or Burma, Venezuela. So there's certain countries where it's more common or more popular for those students to attend a community college because they know about community colleges, they understand the benefits of a community college, they want to save money, they don't have as much money to spend on the more expensive four-year universities. And so those are many reasons why these students pick community colleges. So some of the terms that we're going to be going over today that you will read about, sometimes you'll see them listed on various websites, and sometimes your Education USA advisor will tell you about the 2+2 model, guaranteed conditional admission, the pathway program or transfer pathway, and articulation agreement. We're going to go over these terms one by one. So to define the 2+2 model, this does mean that you are attending a community college for 2 years. You're earning 60 credit hours. You transfer those 60 credit hours to a four-year university. You attend another 2 years, and then you are graduating with your bachelor's degree in 4 years. Just be aware that some programs do take longer. Nursing is one of them. Nursing does take usually longer than 4 years, but there's others as well. So what does guaranteed conditional admission mean? Okay, this means that you apply to the community college first, you get full admission to the community college, including an admission letter and the I-20 visa document. At the same time, you're picking a partner four-year university, and you get a guaranteed conditional admission letter from that four-year university at the same time as you have your full admission from the community college. Usually that guaranteed conditional admission letter will state you must complete English composition with a C grade or better. You usually have to have a certain grade point average, and then you are guaranteed admission to that university. You bring both admission letters to the US Embassy or the consulate. And when you're talking to the consular officer or the visa officer, this can often help you explain what your long-term plan is. And oh my gosh, I just realized that I need to plug in my computer. I can keep talking while I do that. So St. Paul College does have guaranteed conditional admissions with these universities seen on your screen. It does not mean that you have to pick one of these universities eventually to transfer to. You can pick other universities as well. It also does not mean that if you pick one of these universities in the beginning that you're locked in. You can always change your mind. You can always go to a different university. You can go to a university out of state. That's totally fine too. And St. Paul College is not unique in this. So other community colleges also have their own guaranteed conditional admission partner. So it doesn't matter if you're looking in Florida, Texas, California, they all do this. So what does pathway program or transfer pathway mean? So these terms are often used the same. Sometimes it's called pathway program, sometimes it's called transfer pathway, but these are designed so that you complete your 2-year associate's degree, transfer those credits to a university, and then again, you're just finishing a bachelor's degree in 4 years. These are usually designed for specific majors, like for example, we have a business transfer pathway or a computer science transfer pathway. Okay. So some of the pathway programs that we have, you can see here listed on your screen. So these are some of the universities that we have 4-year transfer pathway agreements with. We are in the Minnesota State College and University System, our public state system. So all of our public universities, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, Augsburg is a private university, St. Mary's University in Minnesota, and St. Catherine's University. So these are just some examples that we have. So an articulation agreement, this is also a term that you might read about on some websites, but it basically is similar to the transfer pathway or pathway program definition, where it actually writes down, it has written down exactly the courses that you would take and then how those courses would transfer into the university. Okay, so we're going to look at some tuition comparisons just so that you get some idea of the difference in tuition. So on the left side of your screen, you see community college tuitions, and on the right side of your screen, you see four-year university tuition. These are annual tuition. So St. Paul College is somewhere between $5,800 and $7,000 per year, but most community colleges are between, say, $7,000 and $9,000 per year. Doesn't matter if you're looking at Texas, California, Washington State, Florida, they're all around the same amount. But then you can see there's a big difference with the four-year university tuition costs. So University of Minnesota Twin Cities, as an example, is $36,000 per year. University of California, Berkeley is $47,000 per year. And on the next slide here, this shows you a bar graph of the total amount of tuition you would pay for 4 years if you attended the 4 years at the four-year university in the blue, and if you attended 2 years at a community college and 2 years at the university in the red. So you can see in every case, it's less expensive for you to be attending a community college first. So many of our partner universities, and this is for the case for all community colleges, they also offer, our partner universities also offer guaranteed scholarships by maintaining a certain grade point average or a GPA. It's at least 2.5, but in some cases it's a 3.0 or maybe even a 3.2 grade point average. And now on your screen, you see the tuition discounts or the scholarships that are offered by some of our private four-year universities. So for example, Augsburg University on the left, their normal tuition is $40,000 per year. And on the right, with their guaranteed scholarship and maintaining that certain grade point average, you will end up paying $15,000 per year. So Augsburg is offering a $25,000 per year scholarship. So now you can see another example of the bar graph with the scholarships. And again, the blue is 4 years at the four-year university, and the orange bar is 2 years at a community college and 2 years at the university. So now the costs are going even lower and you're able to pull the costs down. So looking at some of our public university partners, so the full cost of tuition is on the left, and the guarantee with the guaranteed scholarship, what you would end up paying is on the right. So within the state of Minnesota, we have partnerships with St. Cloud State University, Metro State University, and Mankato State University. But if you maintain that 2.5 grade point average, they do offer you scholarships. So now this brings the tuition down even lower. So for your years number 3 and 4, staying within the Minnesota state system, you're going to be paying anywhere from $8,400 to $10,300 per year tuition. So now you look at the costs and another bar graph of 4 years of tuition at the four-year university, and the orange bar is 2 years at the community college, 2 years at the university, and your overall costs now are, you're pulling them down even farther. So the total cost of tuition that you would probably spend for 4 years, if you stayed within the state of Minnesota and attended one of our partner public universities, you can see on your screen. So this is the tuition, either $34,000, $30,000, or $32,000 that you would spend over 4 years, not 1 year, that's 4 years. And then as an estimate, including tuition, fees, books, living expenses, health insurance for 4 years, it would approximately be $80,000. And that's for 4 years, not 1 year, not 2 years. That would be for 4 years. So just an example of one of our success stories, and we have many of these, but we did have an international student who graduated from St. Paul College this past May. He did transfer and get accepted to the University of Minnesota Twin Cities and the Carlson School of Business. He's attending there right now. And he's going on to finish his bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Science in Business at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. We also have another student, Lydia, who transferred to the University of St. Thomas. She's there right now. She's also studying business, and she got a great scholarship. And University of St. Thomas offers great scholarships. They're in St. Paul, they're right down the road. And they usually, with really good grades. Now, if you have good grades like a 3.0 or 3.2 or a 3.5 grade point average, then you end up paying around maybe $12,000 to $14,000 per year for tuition for the University of St. Thomas, when normally their tuition is $42,000 per year. So there is my name, my email, and my phone number, and the website for St. Paul College International Student Admission. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into specifically talking about a St. Paul College. So as I had said before, St. Paul College is a 2-year public community college located in St. Paul, Minnesota. We do have about 10,000 students. And some of those students are part-time, some of those students are full-time. You would be a full-time student as an international student. That is part of your visa requirement, your F1 visa requirement to be full-time, which is at least 12 credit hours every fall and every spring. We do have 54 different associate degree programs. Most of our international students are either in what we call liberal arts, which is our Associate of Arts degree. They take all their general education credits and they transfer all of those to a university of their choice. We have quite a few students in our business programs. That includes business, finance, marketing, STEM, our science, technology, engineering, and math programs. We have engineering, computer science, computer programming, data science, and cybersecurity. Our cybersecurity degree is very popular. And then our health sciences program. So if I have a student who eventually wants to get into a nursing program, which we do not offer, they declare their major as health sciences. They take all the nursing prerequisite courses, and then they apply to and transfer to a school that does have a nursing program. We also have a culinary arts program, which I do have a couple of international students in. We have cosmetology and esthetician too, which I do have a couple of international students in those programs. So we do have a lot of diversity on our campus. We have 63% students of color. We have many immigrant students, and we have many students whose English is not their first language, who have come in as immigrants, as refugees, or as asylees. And so our international students really do fit in well, and you will find as an international student a community within St. Paul College that you can just come and you will feel welcome, and there's lots of opportunities to interact with peers on campus. So some of the student services that we offer, we have a tutoring center that's fully staffed by full-time tutors and what we call peer tutors, which are student tutors. That's all free. You can access a tutoring center and see a tutor anytime they're open, and you are not charged any extra money to see a tutor. This is all part of the tuition that you already pay. We have an academic advising office. We have a counseling and mental health office. So mental health is becoming increasingly important for us and for our students, and that we do take the time and energy to focus on our well-being and mental health well-being of our students. We have a career center, and our career center staff can help you with a mock interview. They can help you with a draft of a resume. They can help you with different job postings and helping you apply to a job on campus, for example. If you have some kind of physical or learning disability, we have a disability resources office that will help you with special accommodations for tests and other things with your classes. We have a very active Office of Student Life and student clubs and organizations, including the Global Cultures Club, which was started by international students, but we have both international and not international students in the Global Cultures Club, and they do social events together, meals, cooking, pizza. They just had a winter clothing giveaway, so they collected winter clothes, hats, jackets, mittens, boots, because winter is coming and some of our students come from very warm climates. So they just did that a few weeks ago. And then the F1 International Student Services, which is me, and I'll be helping you with all of your F1 visa questions and throughout your whole stay. So here's just another example of the tuition. So St. Paul College tuition starts at $5,800 per year if you take 12 credit hours every fall and spring. And then you can see the tuition would go up depending on which college or university you're looking at in the state of Minnesota. We do have scholarships. Students, international students, are eligible to apply for our scholarships starting their second semester. There's 3 deadlines per year, so that would be fall, spring, and summer. They range from $500 to $1,000, $1,500 per semester. And we have awarded over $20,000 to international students over the last 2 years. So when you're applying to St. Paul College and you haven't gotten here yet, you're not eligible. But once you're here, then I help you apply for scholarships for the following semester. These are merit-based. There's no guarantee that you would get one, but according to our statistics, of the international students who do apply for scholarships, half do get scholarships. So that's pretty good. So if you were interested in applying to St. Paul College, how would you apply? You apply online. It's free. We don't charge an application fee. You have to submit proof of English language proficiency. I have another slide on that. You do have to submit the financial certification statement with a bank statement showing at least US $24,015 in a bank account or accounts by you, your parents, a family member, a sponsor. I need scans of your high school or secondary school academic records, a scan of your passport. You fill out our immunization form, and then the F1 International Student Agreement form. And all of that information is available on our website. As is the case with St. Paul College and most community colleges, we do not require an essay. We do not require a personal statement. We do not require SAT or ACT scores. And again, we don't have an application fee. With pretty much all community colleges, there will be no essay, no SAT, and no ACT scores required. So for English language proficiency, you do have to take one of these 4 English language tests. Most students nowadays are taking the Duolingo because it's online and it's less expensive. You need to have an 85 or higher for the Duolingo score. But regardless of meeting our English proficiency requirements, all students will take either the AccuPlacer assessment test or another of our online assessment tests to determine both your English and math placement. So even if you meet our English proficiency requirement, but you take our own internal assessment test and you show that you need 2 developmental English courses, for example, you would be required to take those courses. They're not free. You do have to pay for those courses before you would move on to English composition. So as I had said before, the total cost to attend St. Paul College is US $24,015. This is an estimate. This would include tuition, books and supplies, health insurance, living expenses, transportation, and personal expenses. But of all the costs listed, the costs that you must give to St. Paul College, the money that you must spend at St. Paul College is the tuition and the health insurance. So health insurance is mandatory. It cannot be waived. But the other costs, your books, living expenses, transportation, and personal, those are up to you. You can spend less, you can spend more, but it's up to you. That's not money that you're spending to St. Paul College. So again, the 4-year transfer pathway or pathway programs that we have are listed on your screen. These are some of our partner universities. And then here are our guaranteed conditional admission partner universities. Again, you don't have to pick one of these. You can pick a university out of state or anywhere else as long as you can get admitted. So just a little bit about attaining your F1 visa. So an F1 visa is a non-immigrant visa, and therefore you must prove ties to your home country. So that could mean family back home, parents, siblings, ownership of property or a house. Maybe there's a job when you return home. But the visa officer is going to want to see that you are maintaining a residence in your home country. They also are going to require to see bank statements that are 3 years old or less, an original, and showing at least that 12 months of funding. You will have your admission letter from St. Paul College and the I-20 and the guaranteed conditional admission letter from the university if you choose to ask for that. But the visa interview is usually between 1 and 4 minutes long. It's very short. You need to be able to answer why you chose St. Paul College and why your degree program. Usually it's good to practice your visa interview with a friend, a family member, maybe even an Education USA advisor. So housing, I do get questions from students on housing. St. Paul College does not have any dorms or residential halls on campus. I do have a list of off-campus apartment options with apartment buildings and landlords that I will give you when you're accepted to St. Paul College. There's also search engines that I have set up so that they're looking within a 1-mile radius or so of St. Paul College. We are located right in the city. There's lots of apartment options. We also partner with 2 homestay companies to request a host family. And a host family starts at $750 per month. That does include a private bedroom, the pickup from the airport, and 3 basic meals per day. But if you're looking at an apartment, you can find a studio apartment, which is just 1 room, or a 1-bedroom apartment. Or if you share with another student, then you get a 2-bedroom apartment, or even share a 5-bedroom house with other students, then the costs come down even more for your rent. So I have students asking about work. Can I work? I want to work. So you are limited to only on-campus work as an F1 student for your first academic year. After your first academic year in the United States, you are allowed to apply for curricular practical training, or CPT. This is off-campus work authorization. It is an internship, and it must be related to your field of study. So OPT, or optional practical training, is the 1 year of work authorization that you are eligible to apply for after you graduate with your associate's degree. The work that you get also must be related to your field of study. You do have to file a US government form and pay the government filing fee of $410. You do apply 90 days prior to graduation. I, as the International Student Advisor, will help you apply for OPT. But after your associate's degree, you are allowed to work in the US for 1 year. And that is all I had in terms of my formal presentation. And I would be happy to answer any questions you have, or to go back on a specific slide that you want to see. But are there any questions right now? stop sharing my screen. There we go. Are there any questions from anyone? You can put them into the chat. I think you have the option of unmuting yourself. And I'll also, for those that just joined, I'll put my name and email in the chat one more time. There. Okay, does anyone have any questions?
Well, I guess if there's no questions, we're not gonna hold you any longer. I'm sure you're busy. Normally,
So,
they're kind of shy like this.
yes,
Occasionally, they'll post a question in a chat,
yeah,
but I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
yeah. So I do want to just conclude by saying community colleges in the US are a great option for students who have a lower budget, who still want to pursue education in the US. Community colleges have the advantage of small classroom sizes, usually around 20 or 25 students maximum per class. You get a lot of personalized attention. And many community colleges have English as a second language courses or ESL courses if you need that. And there's a lot of flexibility with community colleges to kind of explore your major and what you want to do by taking your general education credits first, but you're not losing any credits. So there's a lot of advantages to going to a US community college.
Definitely. I mean, you don't have to tell me that because that's the way I went. I went to
Yes.
community college and then I transferred.
Yes, yes. So if any of the students either listening right now or listening in the future as a recorded webinar, please do reach out to me. The website is www.saintpaul.edu, and that is spelled out SAINTPAUL.edu, and my email address is carol.myint@stpaul.edu. That is SAINTPAUL.edu. And I'm happy to answer any questions by email in the future.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this. And if you don't mind, we'll keep you an eye for some maybe other presentations in the future.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
All right. Thank you so much again. And see you guys again sometimes, hopefully.
Yes, that sounds good. Have a good evening, everyone. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.